Hi, my name is Ashley and welcome to A Spinner's World. It is Tuesday, January 21st, 2014, and you can find me online as Spun2Tight with the number 2. I'm on Ravelry, I'm on Instagram, but really that's about it. This is actually take 2. I started to record and I ran out of memory on the camera. And this was after being annoying and bragging about how the memory was working so much better now. It came back to bite me quicker than I anticipated. So I have been meaning to record for about 2 weeks, but I have literally done no knitting except for this past weekend. And I figured, well, I could record, you know, when I said I was going to last time. But I had knit. Someone got behind on grading. Between pneumonia and everything else, I fell behind. So because I was behind, I spent literally 2 weeks grading. Every free moment at work, I graded. Not that I have very many free moments teaching. I spend most of my time walking around and annoying children while they're working. AKA making sure they are working. And if not, inspiring them to work. So when I actually had, you know, time in the evening, I was grading papers. Missing a week with pneumonia means I had a lot of giant packets that I had to grade. Packets that I was like, you guys are going to do all this packet because it's stuff that you should know. We're going to review. And when you give work, you have to grade it. I don't always grade it, but there were certain things that I told them for sure I was going to grade, so I needed to grade them. Plus, I had tests and quizzes in every class right before like the breaks and then right before the end of the year and the end of the quarter, so yeah, I had a lot of grading. So that's why I haven't recorded. This past weekend, like what, the 19th? Yeah, the 19th was Sunday. And my husband and I drove down to Georgia. It's Glencoe, Georgia, which is where the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center is. Maybe. I have a friend who lives in Boston. And she is part of the Public Health Service. So she was down in Georgia for some training. So we went to see her. Because Georgia, and where she was in Georgia was literally 3 hours from Charleston. So we were able to go see her and not have to drive all the way to Boston. Boston is just a little bit further in case you're not from the US and you have no idea what I'm talking about. So she was right next door. So we drove down for 3 hours. My husband drove. I was hanging out in the car. We picked her up off the training center. We drove over to Jekyll Island. Got lunch. Walked around. Wasted time. We wasted time by walking around the historic district of Jekyll Island, which was beautiful. And then we wasted time after that by going to the beach. It's not often you get to waste time. Oh, well, I'll just go over to the ocean. So we went and we walked the beach for a little bit. Then we went back, left the island, take her back, and we caught dinner over on another one of the islands, St. Simon's. So I got to hang out with a friend who moved away like 2 years ago. So it was pretty awesome. And she was a coworker that used to work with me before she got into the program and moved. She moved to Philly, actually, and from Philly then she moved to Boston. So while in the car, because my husband is awesome and drove, I got some time to knit. Of course, I also had time to play games on my phone, but I did do more knitting than anything else. So if you remember, I've been working on the Collie Wobbles socks. And this is the, as you can see, I finished the cuff. I had maybe this much of the cuff done last time I recorded, probably 4 rows. I had started it, knit 4 rows, and then stopped. And that was on Christmas vacation. So since then, aka in the car, I finished the entire cuff, and I have started with the pattern. And I'm a few repeats in now. You'll see the little pattern starting to form. I've got some floats hanging out here that I'm going to have to take care of here soon. This pattern is so easy to memorize. So this is Collie Wobbles. I'm pretty sure this is a 1.5 needle, maybe size 1. I think I cast it on whatever the pattern called for. I want to say it's a 1.5. And it is in my Into the World Captain Tight Pants. Love this yarn. I've already knit 1 full sock. And I have tiny baby feet. I mean, I swear my feet look tiny. And I think I wear a size women's 8. I can get away with a 7.5 if it's a wide shoe, but I usually wear an 8 in regulars. That way it kind of stretches out. So this actually fits my foot. Now it is a little snug this way. I could have probably knit a 1/4 of an inch more. Not even a 1/4, an 1/8 of an inch more, and it would have fit perfect. But the trick is, because of the pattern, I did want to stop at a certain repeat. And so because I needed the certain repeat, I did have to rip a row or 2 back. So it was a little shorter than I needed because, you know, I needed to get the pattern repeats in. So because it was a little shorter, it's a tiny bit snug, which honestly is not much of a problem. For me at least, I know whenever I wear hand knit socks, after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes my socks are huge. I used to worry about my socks being too small. I was so excited about Cookie A's sock book because there were large sizes. I am a large person. I have very wide feet. I've had to send out traces of my foot to get like custom tap shoes made when I was little because I have giant feet. Not long, just wide. I'm used to being a wide foot. So the fact that I wear normal size socks is just baffling to me. So I've knit a sock already. I still have this much yarn left. I am going to have enough left for something awesome. I don't know what. It'll probably be a monster or something, but I will have something left. But that is what I am working on now. And again, Captain Tight Pants from Into the World. This is hand spun. And this is the Collie Wobble sock pattern. And it is by Fibertown, Emily. She has the Fibertown podcast. And I call her Fibertown because that's what she is on Instagram. She's Chain of Fools on Ravelry. So if you're looking for her pattern, look under Chain of Fools. Emily. She has a last name, but I don't know what it is. I figure I have a bunch of students I have to learn their names for. I don't have to learn yarn people, right? I learned everything eventually. I'm just a little slower. So this is one of the main projects I'm working on. This is the project that goes with me to school every single day. I don't knit at school, but I carry it around just in case something happens. Far too many days have I been stuck in traffic for 3 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour trying to get home because somebody got in a wreck. And if there's one wreck, there's 10 wrecks. People drive like crazy down here. Speaking of crazy drivers, I almost got hit twice today. First, I backed down my driveway and left my water bottle on top of my car, which was sad. So I went down my driveway, out of the garage, down the driveway. When I hit the street and turned into the street, that was when the water bottle came crashing down my windshield and scared the bejesus out of me. Sad. So when I got my water bottle, I was mad because I broke it. My Tervis tumbled off my car. So that's all taken care of, you know, and then I get in the car and someone tries to hit my car. Twice. People don't watch, or they speed, or they tailgate. They were tailgating me, every last one of them. Oh, and in case you were wondering, it is in one of my Girl Cave bags. She has the cute little button. I love her stuff. So that's what this is in. And we're half done with projects. And this is why I really need to knit more. I was talking to someone the other day about how stressed I was and how angry I was and how I was being really mean to little children at school. And I'm like, I haven't knit in 2 weeks. She goes, well, that must be why you're being so mean. She may be right. That and they weren't listening. Okay, so the other project, which is really, this is the main project. If I'm ever at home, this is what I work on. For obvious reasons, it's too big, it doesn't travel with me. Too much yarn to carry around. The blanket. Last time you saw me, I was on this square right here. I was about halfway done, I think, and I was like, yeah, I only have to finish 4.5 more squares and I'm done. 3.5 more squares. I have had very little time to knit and very little of it was at home. So literally all I have gotten done in the last week on this blanket was 1 square, which is sad. So I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to set multiple goals actually of things I'm going to actually get done this week. Oh, I should give you details, right? I know you hear this every week and you're probably so sick of this blanket, but these are done on my Hiya Hiya Sharps. It's a size 5 US, which is a 3.75 millimeter. And I do have the 5-inch needles. I like the smaller ones, so these are the 5s. This is a Knit Picks. It is the Color Shift Afghan. It was a Knit Picks kit. It came with all the Knit Picks yarn. It cost me like 30 bucks. And in case you're new, this is a blanket that is made for my sister-in-law who got married back in October. So we need to get this done. And I've been sending her pictures and text messages, so she knows about it. Cat's out of the bag, so it's not like it's a surprise anymore. Okay, so that is the blanket. And that's all I've got project-wise. I know, exciting, huh? My goals for this week, because I need to make some goals, otherwise I'm not going to get anything done. Goal number 1 is to finish this square. It's going to be, today is Tuesday, so Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night, and Saturday night. That's at least 5 days. Whether I record on Sunday depends on whether or not Dory comes over. If not, I'll probably record Monday or Tuesday, because you know how I tend to roll. So if she comes over, I will probably record Sunday. If so, 5 days. That will be done before I come back. With the next square started. And when I say next square, I mean like the next 4th of the blanket. So my goal is to have this completely done and the next section started. We'll see if that works. It's going to work. It is a goal. It's going to happen. I will say the beauty of a new semester is I'm all caught up on grading. I'm caught up on everything that I need to be caught up on for the second semester to start, which means I'm micromanaging the students who were being lazy last year quarter. And they've all admitted it, they were lazy, so we're gonna fix them. We'll be good. They're gonna all do amazingly this quarter, I can tell. I'm already seeing amazing things out of children, so fingers crossed. If I can keep work at work, that way I can knit and stuff and relax at home, all will be well. So that's the blanket. That's all I'm working on. So the goal is to get at least 5 squares done, which will be finishing this blanket, and at least 1, maybe 2. At least 1 done of the next. That's the goal. Goal number 1. Goal number 2. You may not remember, but last October, November, I think it was the beginning of October, I picked up some fleece, well, roving, at a festival, and it was actually a commission spinning. And I know she said she didn't want till early spring and she probably wouldn't need it till then anyways. So I am going to be doing the sampling and the swatching up for that. Maybe even starting it. We'll see how much time we have. And I've been talking and texting and, you know, emailing back and forth with the owner of that. So she knows where that stance is. I haven't seen the woman since like that meeting then, because I have not been able to make it to a single guild meeting since. Between my birthday and the holidays and everything else, I haven't been to a guild meeting since October. It's crazy. My goal is to make it to my knit guild this month. We'll see. So that's next week. That's that. That's my goals. I'm not going to make a goal about the sock progress. I'm going to see how that goes. I also, SSK is coming up this summer and I am going this round. And last year I didn't think it was important to do any of the knit-alongs. I am going to do a knit-along this year. I'm going to do every knit-along. Now, I may not be one who does a lot of points because you get more tokens based on the amount of yardage you use. And I know, the first designer, almost every pattern she has is sweaters. I don't have time for a sweater right now, so I will be doing a hat. Maybe multiple hats, we'll see how it goes. But at least 1 hat. So I'm going to be making a hat, for sure, because I am going to participate. Now, my hat will not be worth as many points as some other sweaters, but I will at least have a hat done. So that's my goal there. I don't think that's going to be done this week, but by the end of February, that will be done. Oh, one more thing. Knit-alongs. Okay, we have a knit-along happening currently, which is for me, it's a stash busting. For you, it does not have to be a stash busting. There is no requirement for this knit-along that you have to use stash. The goal is to use up yarn. That's my goal. Now mine will probably be mostly stash, but that's not a mandatory part of the contest. And for January and February, the goal was to knit up finished things that, have been languishing from the previous year. And you are going to open a post in our thread. I'm going to open up one for January, February, and we are going to edit it. And so if you knit 10 things, you can put all 10 things, link the projects you finished. So your project has to be in Ravelry. I want to see a link. If you need help linking, please send me a message on Ravelry and I will help you. There is no problem there. Or check the little wiki or info help they have on Ravelry. That's pretty awesome too. I want you to link your project and keep a running total of your yardage. And so if you finish, if an object is finished, it counts. So the goal for January, February is to finish old things, meaning things that were cast on at some time in December or earlier. That's your goal. So if you finish something that's old, out with the old, in with the new, right? You actually get a bonus entry. So for every yard you knit, you get 250. For every 250 yards you knit, you get an entry. And I'm just gonna put them on little pieces of paper and put them in a bag and shake them up and draw prizes that way. So for every 250 yards you knit, you get an entry. For every item you finish in January and February, you get a bonus entry. Now let's say I knit 1,000 yards. That would be worth 4 entries. And 2 items were finished that were from 2013 or earlier. I have 6 entries total. Now when February is over, those bonus entries are gonna go away, but those 4 entries you have for the 1,000 yards you knit or crochet or whatever are still there. So those won't go away. Now I will be having a new topic for March and April. And let's say you get 3, those will go in with the other 4. So you kind of get the idea. Now of course, the more things you finish, the more yardage you get, the better off you're gonna be. So count up all that yardage for 2014. Let's keep track of it and use up some stuff. And I will tell you that I have not yet opened a thread in Ravelry. I am going to do that tonight while I'm uploading and editing this now that I can finally breathe. I think the last time when I was editing and recording and uploading this, I was grading papers. So it didn't even get up then. So it will be up before this goes live. I hope. Otherwise, I'm just lying to you every week. I'm sorry I do that. I do that a lot. But that's the goal for January and February. I am going through Stash. I was hoping to last weekend, but you know, grading and stuff got into it. It will be done for sure this week, and you will see some prizes next week. Definitely beginning of February. I'm going to go through some of my stash and see what I have that needs to go to a better home because it's just languishing here. And because I have so much yarn, it's ridiculous. And I'll be pulling some things for prizes. Some will be pretty awesome. Not because I don't like them, but because, you know, I'm going to be nice and move things along, pay things forward, you know? So that's what's happening there. Keep in mind, if you are knitting things for other knit-alongs, or if it's for our knit-along but can count for others, you are welcome to double and triple and quadruple dip as long as it fits with other podcasters. I think I was actually talking to Crafty Girl of Just One More Row. She has so many names, it confuses me. But I was talking to her of Just One More Row, and she goes, oh my gosh, we're doing the same knit-along for January and February. Almost the same, that's what she said. So if you don't listen to them, you should go check them out. They are an audio podcast. They are pretty awesome. I've met both of them in person. So they have a very similar knit-along, so as long as you meet their requirements, you can also enter theirs. So if you don't listen to them, you may want to go listen and at least, you know, pick up all the knit-along stuff and, you know, go over and be enabled. They're bad people. I listen to them and then I want to buy things. That's a problem. For me, at least. So make sure you definitely check out other stuff. I know a lot of people have stash busting and finishing knit-alongs right now, so you have a lot of things you can probably pick up points in. But I'm going to leave you there for today. Hopefully you will see me again this weekend. If not, Monday. Either way, there will be a podcast up and online by next Wednesday. Fingers crossed. If not, I may have caught a cold. My husband is sick. He never gets sick. So I'm probably going to end up sick again, which will be horrible. So, I hope you'll have a great week. Make sure you keep track of your yarn you're knitting. Even anything finished in January gets to go up in the entries. If I finish my blanket, and let's pretend there are 4,000 yards in it, I get to put all 4,000 yards in, even though it wasn't started this year. I don't want to see what you knit this year. Anything finished this year, you get to count the total yardage. And again, all the rules will be in the thread. That way it's all broken down in one common place where I won't lie to you and tell you things that aren't true. I'm good at that too. I forget what I say and then I change things. So all the details will be there. We will be talking and bouncing some ideas around for the February. Not February. Oh my gosh. The March knit along in April. We'll talk about some themes over in the Ravelry groups. If you're interested, head on over there. And that'll start early February. So I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Show notes, if there are any, are on the blog. Usually you'll just find links to my Ravelry page. But again, thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.